Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive light coach. I'm going to welcome you to this short 3-week series we're doing called Shortcuts for the Soul. And basically, each day the idea is that my guides and angels will work with all of us to help us to look at different ways we can move our awareness into greater alignment with our purpose, our higher sense of being, who we truly are, not who we've been conditioned to think we are. It's important you understand there is a very big distinction between the personality that you've been given by the world and who you truly are. I'm going to get into that short. We're just going to wait for a few minutes for people to come on, and we'll go from there. I also want to make a few notes. Hi, Sophie. Wonderful. It is a great, beautiful, joy-filled day. It is what we make it to being. So a couple of announcements I want to say. Again, I want to say welcome to my new patrons. I really appreciate your support. There's special features that you guys will get that are unique to only my patrons on my Patreon page, where I can run live events from as well there too. And we're going to be putting the framework together for that this week, and hopefully you'll have your first live event in the next few days for patrons only. Also, one of the things that they've asked us to do that was brought to our attention this morning is if there's a specific question or idea that you think needs to be addressed either for yourself or for the world or for humanity, please send those questions in to us so that we can have something we can present each day to you. Right now, we're going to be bringing a question was brought to us today on, has COVID-19 affected our life purposes? And this is a really great question. It came to me from a woman named Gillian Maiden from down in Australia. And it's a really great question. And we're going to get into that in a couple of moments. And I want to thank Gillian for that question as well. Other things to consider. Yes. A reminder. Again, we've got the error on my website has been corrected. So instead of those of you that have been trying to register for the September courses, getting directed to a page that you have to pay $457 for the courses and classes, it's now you'll be redirected to the proper page where you only pay $199 US for the Mediumship 101 course, which begins September 5th. We also had a similar glitch with the booking private readings with me, where people were also being redirected to that page where you would have to pay $457 US for a reading with me. And that's not the case. It's actually $111 US to book a reading with me in person. And you can do that now, and you'll only get directed to pay that amount of money. So again, I want to apologize to those of you that tried to book a session. And I want to say thank you to those who were able to put me in touch with that error so it could get corrected very quickly. So thank you for that. Anything else? Fascinating things happening. I mean, there's so much energy coming into our solar system right now from our sun and from extra solar energies too. Solar energies coming into our solar system from the galactic spaces around us, which are going to be impacting humanity and the planet over the next 6 to 8 months. It's going to be very interesting. Now, about a month and a half ago, I channeled Gaia, and she said that the instances of earthquakes and volcanic activities would be diminished significantly. The magnitude of earthquakes would be held under magnitude 7, which they have been, very fascinatingly enough. I think we had one magnitude 7 in the last 6 months, which is really quite unusual. And she said they would be spread out in lower magnitudes around the planet so as to make the transition energetically more safe for everybody. I'm just trying to catch up on information that they've been feeding through to me today. It's going to be very exciting. So again, the subject today, has COVID-19 altered our life purposes? And when I ask the question, I get a Metatron comes through and he says, absolutely not. It has given each and every one of you the opportunity to effectively carry out your life purpose. You've been given this opportunity to return to your source, your soul, your being, not this a mechanism that you live in. This mechanism that you live in is not who you are. It is the instrument of your being able to express who you are into time and space and matter. Unfortunately, many of you are entrapped in this personality, this human construct that you have the label of a name. You are stuck in the beliefs, the ideas, and the information that have been put into the system from the environment. And you are now given the time and the space to go internally and remove anything that impedes you from fully expressing and articulating your divine purpose. And each of you has a divine purpose. All humans came here with a divine purpose, a reason for being that transcends the conditions of this world in and of itself. You get to affect changes in the conditions of this world. So yeah, he's saying directly, no. The COVID-19 virus does not alter our life purposes. It enhances it. And I guess you could say if it enhances it, it alters it in that sense. So instead of being held back from our life purpose, we actually have a greater opportunity to focus on it. I completely agree with that. If you consider that you have, in lockdown, you have more time to yourself, or more time to quiet your mind, more time to begin to sort out the question, the answer to the question, who am I? Right? Really, like, who are you? Are you the thoughts in your mind? No. The thoughts in your mind were given to you by the environment, but you are the awareness. You are, this is so important. They keep saying this very loud and clear right now. You are the awareness that exists through this. And you can be aware of thoughts, and you can be aware of emotions, and you can be aware of matter in the form of your body, and you can be aware of environmental conditions. But you, as the awareness, does not need to be subjective to these, but you can act as a greater influence upon those to create and alter existing conditions in time, space, and matter that you call this physical dimension. The fourth dimensional awareness is what you are. You are fourth dimensional. Your awareness is fourth dimensional. And as you realize this, you move yourself into the creative position along the lines of those great ones that came before you, the great masters that are no longer in form but exist in spirit, always available to you. You may now act as a creative influence. Stop being subjective to your thoughts. Stop being subjective to the emotions connected to those thoughts. Stop being attached to your past as if it is what defines you as you. You are that which defines you. You must become conscious of that fact. You must begin to execute your knowledge of this fact. And I'm also understanding too that it's really important that you realize that your thoughts are not who you are. You are the thinker, not your thoughts. This is something that's reminded of. I get reminded of all the time by them. When I have a thought about something or somebody, they'll always say to me, that's not who you are. That's just a thought. Where did that thought originate? And 90% of the time, when you look at your thoughts, most of the thoughts you have in your mind don't even originate from you. They originate from your past, from what mom told you, or dad told you, or a friend told you, or the television told you, the radio told you, or the news station told you. Most people don't think original thought anymore, which is why there's such a huge emotional disconnect on the planet for most people consciously. Why our mental health systems are overburdened, because we're so limited. You're a divine being. You're not meant to be limited or restricted to the content of your mind, the information that the world has given you. You're meant to be a creative influence on time, space, and matter. This is so important to understand, and you want to question the thoughts that come to your minds. Where does this thought really originate from? And is it a thought that's going to be beneficial for me? Is it a thought that's going to be beneficial for the world? Is it going to be a thought that's going to generate behaviors that's going to create better outcomes in the world? Until you start questioning from that perspective, you're stuck being the thoughts. You're stuck being the emotions that are connected to those thoughts. And yet the emotions are just energy. And you'll hear us say this many, many, many times. Your emotions are the energy, the stuff that you use to create changes in time, space, and matter. Energy is what we use to make that hand move. Energy is what we use to speak these words. We use energy to do this. All of you do. To become conscious of that fact, and the fact that you have choice over those, is the beginning of the liberation. Your purpose is what you are. What you are choosing to be becomes your purpose. Do not be that which the world has conditioned you to be, or you will cut yourself off from your purpose. And this is what causes great suffering, when you are disconnected from that which you are. Well, no messing around today, eh? No messing around at all today. We're going to also, anybody, whatever way you can support this work, share this video out, share this information, share the link when you come live. Get more people involved, because remember, we're not just communicating to you in words. There are vibrational frequencies that we are all aligned to, connected to. We are like the individual fingers on a cosmic hand of divinity, and each of us, there's me and you and you and you and you, and we're connected to this one energy that's moving through us all as different expressions in time, space, and matter. But we have choice over what those expressions will be. Is it going to be an expression determined by the outside world, or is it going to be an expression that's determined by the inspiration of your awareness, the vibration of your awareness? And this is important. The vibration of your awareness as a frequency of love, or the vibration of your awareness as a frequency of fear. What will you align your attention to? For that will determine the energy and the way it shapes and forms into matter, or what you call your living experiences. And this is a fascinating time. So yes, the COVID-19 does alter your purpose. It gives you the opportunity to affect it more deliberately and consciously, because many of you are now placed in the position where you get to re-examine who you wish to be and what you are being, what you are thinking, what you are feeling, and to learn to assert your divine authority over thoughts and emotional creations. Emotions are just your energy. Yes. Oh, and I also want to thank the people that sent donations to my PayPal account. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Your support is really important to us. These messages will continue to go out as long as there's support for them. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Vanessa. Hello, Anne Marie. Wow. Yeah, it is nice to have you guys come on. Hi, Lysandra. Hi, Sophie. Question. Oh, here's a great question. I presume you're asking me personally, but they may answer. What do you think of the vaccination for the COVID-19? People shouldn't be forced to take it if we don't know what's in it. Okay, I'm going to speak to you from a personal level. They just tell me it is unnecessary. It is an element of control and power that is unnecessary for the movement of humanity from a third dimensional awareness to a fourth dimensional expression as a whole. That's their take on it. My take on it is, you just have to study the ingredients to any vaccine, and you'll find out that there are elements in it that can be very detrimental to your well-being. Again, I spoke to actually the 3 people yesterday in the building who got vaccinations last year where we live. Because I'm always curious. I'm always asking people questions. And one elderly gentleman said he got the vaccine last year, and then he got the flu after the vaccine. And he said the same thing happened to his son and his wife. And it was like, okay, and this is not the first time I've heard this. So I'm not speaking from a medical perspective. I'm speaking based on what people have told me their experience has been. My mother told me the same thing, that she'd gotten it, and she got the flu afterwards. Again, there are so many theories out there, but they tell me what's important is that free will can only be surrendered. It cannot be given up. It can be surrendered. You cannot give up your free will, but you can surrender it. And anytime you agree to something, you are agreeing to it. You are in contract. Through agreement, you are in contract. If you refuse agreement, you refuse a contract. Unfortunately, many of you have surrendered the responsibility of your health and well-being to your governments, to agencies outside of yourself. And we always recommend the reverse, that you are the authority. You are the authority of your own being. Connect to the source, the essence of that which created you. And from that platform of unconditional love, begin to express your purpose, your behaviors, your thoughts, and your actions. But the vast majority of humanity has now been subjugated to the outside influences of individuals who have specific agendas of their own, without the mindfulness or well-being of the whole considered fully and completely. But we would not say, do not do this or do this. We would say to you, you are free to choose. This is a free will zone. So you are free to choose a vaccine or to not choose a vaccine. But know that your choice will always have an effect upon the conditions of your being in this physical dimension. Wow. There's a great question, Sophie. Again, they tell me to avoid getting political, but they're also saying do not be afraid of controversy, but avoid being political, because politicians, one of the things that's being taught to politicians is they're not in charge. Politicians are not in charge. Somebody's in charge of the politicians. And every one of them is now very aware of that fact. Politicians don't have any power. They were told to do this, and they do it. And that will trickle down depending on how we respond to that. And again, this is a personal opinion of mine now, that most politicians have realized they don't have any power, that they have to follow the orders of somebody that said, do this. And whoever that is, we don't know. But we also know the benefits of what happened. And this is the really exciting thing. And they keep saying this over and over again. This whole isolation thing is of great benefit potentially to all humans if you choose to use the time to restore yourself to the throne of your own consciousness and to remove your subjectivity to what the world has made you think you are supposed to be. And I love that. I love it when they say that to me repeatedly, because I do. I examine it, and we should all examine. Am I thinking? Is this thinking I've got going on here of my own choosing? Or did I get this idea that's creating fear from the radio? Did I get this idea of fear from the newspaper? Did I get this idea of fear from a friend or from a neighbor? Are my ideas my own? Are these ideas that I want to live my life by? And restoring your house to who you are, and you are an extension of divine love, every one of us is, and restoring your house, your consciousness to that frequency of love is really, really imperative right now. And that's what's happening. Humanity is trying to shift from three-dimensional consciousness to fourth-dimensional awareness and being. And from that perspective, the frequencies of love become more transformative in how they interact with time, space, and matter, versus the old paradigm of fear, which keeps us stuck in the belief that matter is what we are and that we're subjective exclusively to what happens in physical time and space. And that is the illusion that we must all learn to break free of. Who are you? Where do your thoughts come from? You have the power to change them, add them, edit them, delete them. Remember this, please. It will help you a lot. Hi, Betsy. Thank you. Wow. Hi, Adam. Can you please ask Freya if there is any subconscious blockages that is affecting the manifestation of ritual done, and what exactly should I do from a methodological point of view to remove it? She's laughing at you, Adam. She says you are in this consistent theme of wondering if there is something blocking you. And of course, because you are wondering if something is blocking you, something must block you. You are giving attention to the very idea. You are questioning that free flow of energy in yourself by the very nature of thinking you have to do rituals in order to enable it. If you wish to enable the free flow of consciousness that is you as love, then you must learn to turn your attention inward to find and access the vibration of self as love, to rest your consciousness and your awareness in the frequency of love, to be fully aligned to that vibration, and then to bring that frequency down into your body, enable it to rewrite and reorganize the molecules in your body and your mind so that they are in alignment with who you truly are. This is so important. You must bring that vibration of love down. No ritual you'll do in this world will do more other than to affect your body and influence your mind. But you have great authority over matter when you begin to realize this. This is important. Thank you, Adam. Patricia, speaking of medical systems, can they speak on the subject of modern medicine? Wow, Patricia, there's a great happiness and delight in your question. We would say to you that your current medical system is about to undergo a massive overhaul as conventional science is now beginning to comprehend this other reality that is the non-physical dimensions of consciousness that supersedes time, space, and matter as you currently understand it. The reality that you are a non-physical being in a vibrational frequency of love and are able to therefore alter matter, time, and space from that perspective vibration, your current medicine will go through great changes, as will your technology. And you can see very clearly in your technology the concept of a unified field taking place. For all of you right now in this moment are harmonized in this communication, for example. You're harmonized in this communication as if you are one. And the truth is, we are one from this perspective. We function together much the same way as the dynamic consciousness of your body does when it is dealing with certain conditions. So too does the awareness that is you function in conjunction with other individualized aspects of the infinite intelligence. So your medicine is about to go through a massive holistic transformation, for the old model of trying to treat conditions and problems of the body from the perspective of matter is extremely, what's the word? It's a big stumbling block for the movement forward of consciousness. You cannot continue to change matter with matter. You can, however, change matter with conscious awareness, with energy, which is what you are. So we know that you will be seeing some of these innovations, some of these transformations in consciousness that are already trickling through. You can see examples of individuals having miraculous healings from meditation and miraculous healings from different arts that employ the concept of working with energy rather than matter to treat matter. As you begin to understand that emotion is the dominant energy that all of you use to alter and change the conditions of your physical body, as more people become aware of that reality, that is the emotional energy that you choose to indulge in, that maintains, alters, or changes the conditions in your physical world, then from that perspective, your medical systems are going to go through a great revolution. And we look forward to experiencing that with you. It will be fun. For as you do that, you'll also begin to hear us and see us much more efficiently, much easily. More and more of you will see and hear these wondrous energies that we all live in consciously. Some of you are becoming conscious of that fact now even. Thank you. Tina, when we quiet our mind and it's in stillness, are we at that moment resting in God, energy, our higher self? Wow. They're saying that is the very, very important first step. I got Master Jesus is just coming in for you, and he's saying this is an important awareness. To be in stillness is the first step. Remember, you are still operating as an individual consciousness here to express individually in this form. In that stillness, you may ask questions of your source or of us. And in that stillness, you will hear thoughts, receive images, or get ideas that will represent, in truth, the information you are requesting, or the inspiration you need, or the direction you're seeking to be guided in. But the stillness is the first step in consolidating your awareness into a single point of quietness, where you can then be receptive to frequencies that are above matter, time, and space. We emphasize the word frequency, that as you move into the stillness, you alter your frequency from being dense matter, the density of acquired thought, the density of acquired emotion that's connected to those thoughts. In that stillness, you move away from the earth, you might say, and you move into this higher frequency that you must then seek up, request a frequency of love be given to you, request a vibration of bliss be given to you, and allow yourself to be aware of the responses that will be given to you from that perspective. Much the same way as you would ask a parent or a friend a question, they would turn to you and answer it. So too, in that stillness, you are turning not to a physical presence, but you are turning your attention to an awareness. Wow, fascinating. Wow, Alessandro, thank you for that $10 donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Woo, yeah, high vibes all the way, Jeannie. I totally feel that. Like I gotta say, when they first asked me if suggested do this daily thing for 3 weeks, I was like very reluctant at first, because like every single day for 3 weeks, and they just smile at me now. And again, when you start to move into a level of trust, there's a freedom, and I don't mean about trusting what's in this world. I mean trusting what you know. What's in alignment with who you are as a soul. There's a freedom that happens. And again, we really appreciate all your support here. Anne-Marie, I have been feeling so unsettled. Is this part of the increasing energy? Also, should we be focusing on our joy as much as possible at this time? Those unsettling feelings, as soon as they were answering, as soon as I read the words, those unsettling feelings is the old self, that constructed self that is competing for your awareness. it still seeks, this body and mind is constructed by this environment to function in very predictable ways based upon the information it has been conditioned with. And it's very unsettling to it when you step away from it. It seems like you're taking your life away from it. It gets uncomfortable. It doesn't want you to be settled. It doesn't want you to be, it wants to be in charge of you. It's been trained by the environment to be in charge of you rather than you being in charge of it. Much the same way as many of you watch your television shows and it's in charge of you when you watch it. So too, it will be unsettling for your body when you begin to give up its control over you to assume authority over it. Please understand the importance of this information, that if you are unsettled, it is because there is something you are releasing that you no longer need to control you. You are releasing your attachment to being subjective to this world. And there's only really a handful of humans on this planet today, if you look at the overall population numbers, that are truly free of the external influences and able to proactively affect time, space, and matter. And you can see those ones at work in this world today. They're saying also pursue your meditation, move away from that vibration of unsettlement. When you feel it, take your attention away from it and ask for a higher understanding and feeling, In your case, that particular phrase will work really well for you, to ask for a higher feeling and understanding in your meditation. Move your attention off of the unsettling ideas. Remember, whatever you put your attention on, you're feeding. When you put your attention on fear, you feed the fear. You put attention on joy, you feed the joy. So remember that. That's the simplest thing they've ever said to me is whatever you put attention on, you begin to expand. You begin to make it grow. So if anybody listening here is here for the first time, remember that whatever you're putting attention on, you're creating. So you got something that says something triggers fear or guilt or shame. Take your attention off the guilt or shame. Go into a place of quiet, silence, and remain there. Do not because your guilt and your shame, your fear, all those negative emotions want your energy. They want your energy because they're used to having it, and they want to exist. They have a life. The minute you take your energy away from them, they start to lose energy, and they'll fight for their life. Even any animal will fight for its life. Well, emotional constructs like fear and guilt or shame are living constructs of energy. And when you stop feeding them with your love, which is what you do, your love, you feed them with your energy, they start to die, and they get very uncomfortable. It's like watching a fish out of water. It flops around as much as it can to try and get back in the water, while your negative emotions will flop around and try and get you back into them so they can, and they get your energy again. So remember that. I love that explanation. Thank you. Anne-Marie, yes. So yeah, very important that COVID-19, the concept of COVID-19 is it's not the COVID-19 altering your purpose. It created a situation and circumstance that enabled a large percentage of the light workers on this planet to awaken to their purpose, to get detached from the control of the 5 physical senses over who you are, to get detached from them, to then go inside and identify, what is my purpose? Who am I? Where does my life come from? This energy that gives me life, what does it want? How will it express me? What's the best way for me to express this love? And this isolation gives you a chance to be more with that source, the inner source. Jesus says all the time, go within. He says, go within. The kingdom of God is within you, And he'll continue to say that for as long as humanity exists. The kingdom of God is here now in this present moment. So don't let your mind take you to the past or into a false future. Anyway, great questions today. Just great questions. I've been feeling, oh yes, there we go. So I hope that addresses your concern, Anne-Marie. The only time I remember getting the flu was the one time I got the shot, ended up in the hospital. Remember, I'm not anti-medical establishment because I've broken each foot twice, one foot 3 times, and I've broken bones. I've had stitches when I was a kid. Doctors are very beneficial. Doctors, in truth, were meant to be healers, and healers need to understand energy because energy affects matter. And when you understand how to inspire an energy in a person, so a person's feeling weak and tired, and you can inspire an energy for strength and vitality in them, they can heal. And medicine is going to transition from this cause and effect, matter against matter, to a place of energy. I believe all health workers are healers that have not been taught nor trained a process for liberating people from their suffering, but have been taught and trained into a condition to help people maintain their suffering. And again, I don't want to get into the machinations of it. Our healers I bow down to all healers, whether they call themselves a medical doctor or a physiotherapist. They are healers. It's just that the process of understanding cause and effect from the perspective of energy needs to be clearly put out to the world now. And this is what we are doing here, to bring this information that matter can affect matter, but energy can affect matter always. And emotional energy alters and changes the actual structural flow of your blood, your DNA, your organs, your nerves, your glands. So learning how to stimulate the proper energy in your consciousness to bring into your body will create conditions of health and or conditions of disease, depending on the nature of the energy that's being focused on. So please remember this. Thank you, guys. Yes, if you're wondering too, it's the Divine Collective of Light, and I love these guys. Beautiful. There's a lot of divine collectives out there. They're pretty amazing. Manoj, please ask the angels if they have any advice for me, anything that I need to know. They're saying, go inside, get away from your mind, get away from your body in your meditations, and commune with us. Commune with us in the bliss of your awareness. Seek us out as a vibration of love. Seek that vibration of love, but do it when this is at rest. Seek that vibration of love that is you and commune with us. I love that. That's really great. Thanks, Manoj. Good question. Wow. Louise. Hi, Louise. Do they have anything to say about immunity in relation to the virus and in relation to ascension, reaching a higher frequency? It's interesting you ask that question. No, yeah. Okay. So basically what they're saying is your biology is the product, your human biology is the product of literally billions of years of repeating evolution with many different experiences under many different conditions that you and your physical body would not survive, but the consciousness that is in your body has survived and has regrown itself and represented itself again and again and again. So you are in these immaculate bodies of a divine creation of many billions of years of experience. And you have the ability to alter it and change it when you understand the concepts of energy and that you are a generator of frequency. You will ultimately find that immunity is a vibration. It is a vibration. We would say, too, that the only reason that you would be subjective to the external influences of what you would call a virus or disease is because you have a conception established in your form or an experience that you've inherited that says this could be true. For you inherit information from the very first dawning of the single cell in consciousness. You have inherited all the knowledge and experience of that. It is within you, and you can retrain it and re-educate it to know that it is impermeable to suggestions and ideas that are not supportive of its life. You are the life now. You must learn to understand you are the life that this body has within it. Wow. Autumn's asking, should I continue supplementing borax, or is it not necessary? Hi, Victorious. And the answer is, as you so choose, it will work. Victorious, thank you for that donation, $20 donation. I really appreciate it. Any messages for me? Thank you for your light. These messages have changed my life. Thank you so much. They're saying right now, it's important you understand that the attachments that you still struggle with will make things much easier for you as you release them. We cannot stress enough to all of you the importance of learning to disassociate your awareness and become disentangled with the constructs of your mind and body, if only for a short period of while, to realign yourself to that which is truly who you are. Before you became identified with the personality that you call yourself at this time, it's important you remember those times when you were a little child where you were not attached to anything, but you were forced to become attached to certain things that defined you in certain ways. But remember that feeling of unattachment. Become detached from this world, if only for a little while, and become the vibration of your being that is you, and you without limit, in direct relationship to an infinite source with infinite intelligence and infinite power, available for you to bring through as the expression of your being. The difficulty that many of you struggle with in terms of understanding this process is that you still believe that the body is exclusively the point of identity of yourself, as equally as you believe that the constructs in your thought world are you as well. They are not. They're merely constructs from the environment. The key to becoming detached is simple. Quiet your mind and still your body long enough to feel who you are as an awareness. And then from that perspective of awareness, you may ask, what is love? What is purpose? What is joy? Are there beings that I can connect to right now on this vibration of love? And we will come to you. We're always with you anyway, but you keep switching the station so we can't connect to you. Am I here? Am I here? You must feel it. You must make the connection as a vibration with us. Make the connection as a vibration with us as you are doing right now. In this moment, we are connected in this vibration. It is not the words, it is the vibration. The vibration that you feel, the vibration that we share that enables this communication to unfold. It is the vibration. Find that vibration within yourself when you are with yourself, and you too shall hear us as you hear us now, but within the structure of your own awareness, which you are in right now anyways as well. Thank you. Wonderful question. Oh, thank you so much, Patricia. Yeah, I got to say, when it comes through, it is bliss. Like when you are aligned to these beings, think about it. There's something that's beating the heart in this body right now. They tell me that it's my soul. Our souls are the life, the creative intelligence that manifested us as individual expressions of itself. That portion of life that is us is actually the field around our bodies. And that field, electrical field, is what's keeping the body electrically alive, right? And learning to understand that you are not the body. You're not the thoughts. You are the awareness that moves through it and expands through it. It changes the paradigm. We can affect people across the world with a thought. You can affect every cell in your body responds to every subtle emotion and feeling that you generate or that's being put towards you. And you can alter the effect of that by being aligned. As Buddha calls it, the middle path. Buddha says to be in the middle path where you're neither attached to one nor the other, where you are neither good nor evil. And from that perspective of awareness, can true action come to life? And he says that quite repeatedly, right? I love that. Yes. I tell my friend, you have the remote. If the news is upsetting you, push a little button. That's great. Yeah. I cannot tell you, they say to me when I'm walking down the street now, they say, you can tell the people who are listening to all the fear, for they are the ones wearing the masks. They're trapped in the belief of fear, right? And remember, Nikola Tesla had it right when he says that everything is frequency, vibration, and energy. If you understand that, and your awareness can alter and control vibration. Your awareness can alter and control frequency. Very important. Luke, as we focus on our desired reality every day, are we aligning even more to that timeline and leaving the old one? Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, Luke. Absolutely. And it gets more pronounced as you get more adept at aligning yourself to a vibration of love, and you watch how that organizes things. Look at what television and radio, what they're doing. They're putting out these vibrations, and you can see the people that have become aligned to or indoctrinated in that vibration of fear or that in vibration of joy. Because there's also stations and spiritual channels that are coming out now that are about love and about light and about hope and about excitement and possibility. And you can see the people that are indoctrinated in that reality. So you want to become aware of your alignment to the vibrational frequency that matches what you want your experience to be in time and space. And then be that. And that vibration will influence and affect other people, right? It's very exciting. It is really very exciting. Lori, thank you for the explaining that fear, guilt, and shame are constructs. The past year, I found myself feeling guilty with no reason I could do. Oh, you're welcome. Remember, you can also pick up the vibrational energies of other people, but that's not a bad thing. That's actually a really good thing, because once you connect to somebody on that end, so empaths have this problem, right? They tell me all the time, empaths are beings that are here to learn to transform negative energy, not become subjective to it. That blew my mind when I heard that, but there's not known. That makes perfect sense. They said empaths are here to become transformers of energy. They are the most sensitive of individuals, capable of altering and changing energy in the most profound ways without having to interact with people overtly. And that's pretty amazing. Think about that. So you pick up a vibration, you recognize somebody's angry at you, or you're picking up a vibration of guilt or a vibration of fear. They're saying that empaths can actually move into a state of awareness of love and grace and put that back out to that. They don't have to do anything overtly. The person, they said they've got to learn to do it just from an energy perspective. And they said two things happen when an empath actually does that. The first thing is the empath aligns himself to their vibrational frequency of love, that which they are. And they just rest in that. They said that's all they have to do, just be in that energy. That energy goes out and radiates out and induces or alters changes in anything it comes into contact with. I'll use the example they gave us to use many times. So think of this as somebody else who's in a state of fear. So this is and I'm picking up this fear from this person. And suddenly whoa, this vibration, I go, oh, it's coming from that person. Then I stop, I go inside, I align myself to love. I get hooked up, and once I'm in that vibration, I start radiating that out. And think of that vibration as like a temperature, like in a freezer. The temperature of freezing will make the water freeze. The water doesn't have to do anything. The influence of the temperature, called cold, alters the molecules in the water to change to ice. So your vibration of love, when you can radiate that out wherever you are, will induce a change in any substance that it comes in contact with to become in the image and likeness of itself. And that explanation just simplified things so much for me too, in understanding the value of that. And yes, there are conditions where people will want to hold on to their pain and suffering, but you don't have to. Just stay in the vibration of that which is you. Great question. And so yeah, the other thing they said for me to do today was to ask everybody, if you want a particular, over the next few days, as we go through these, the last week and a half of this, please consider that you can send in a question or a subject that you'd like us to explore with you, and we'd be delighted to address some of those if they fit in with the process, the energy of that day. So please don't hesitate to send in your suggestions and ideas. You can send that to my email address, williammichaelforbes59@gmail.com, and we'd love to have other ideas that we can work with as well. And again, here we are again. It's like 10:45. They originally told me they're so funny that way. They said, "Oh, you'll only be having to do this for 15 or 20 minutes." I went, like, that's easy, right? They made it easy for me, and then this is what happens when you move into a higher vibration of consciousness. And you're going to learn this if you do this. You actually experience more time in less space, and that means like you're in this higher vibration of consciousness. Time just goes by like that. It's not that you age faster. It's that you experience time very differently in a different frequency of consciousness. In a lower vibration of sadness or fear or depression, you experience time as dragging on, as painfully dragging on. But in a higher state of spiritual energy, of love, of joy, of bliss, of contribution, of compassion, kindness, time changes. And that's a really fun thing when you begin to realize that you are in charge of that process. You get to direct that process for your own life. All of us do, right? That's why it's so important to let go of pain and suffering. It's not necessary. One of my favorite sayings from Eckhart Tolle is, suffering is only necessary until you know it's not. And you can surrender your suffering, right? When I asked the Buddha, well, how do I release my anger? Just let it go. I understand what he means by that now, right? I understand what they mean. Just let it go. Take your attention off it. Take your attention off it. Let's see if I make sure I got anybody who's... Okay, great. I think we got one more question and then we'll call it a day. Absolutely, Betsy. This is time for myself. And that's a great question. Every time is time for myself. There is not a time where it is not time for myself. That's the beautiful thing when you are living from a vibration of who you are, which is love. That every moment is your time and you delight in it. It is time for ourselves all the time in reality from that perspective. If you're in a state of fear, then your body gets distressed and gets overstressed and it has to rest. And it's a different energy when it's a vibration of love. When it's a vibration to gain control or power or to express anger or control, it's not good for you. Then you need rest. But thank you. Yes, we too. Again, I want to thank everybody for their contributions today. I really, really appreciate that. It inspires me personally to allow my container to be used in the fashion they want us to communicate these messages through. And I want to thank every one of you for coming out today. This is amazing. Like, there's just so much happening on this planet today and the rate of it is increasing. The higher vibrational consciousness, the more love you cultivate as a being, as your awareness, the more you're going to start to see obvious changes in time, space, and matter happening around us. And remember, science now is beginning to understand that energy causes matter. Emotion organizes matter as well. So learn to detach from emotions that do not support or sustain you. And I want to say much love to all of you. Thank you so much for coming to this day. And I will see you again tomorrow with my team. And I want to thank all the divine angels and beings that are with all of us today. And may they be with you in conscious awareness so that you know, because they're with you right now. And I want to say much love to everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bye, everybody.